I named the project Northern Lights. Well, I'm gonna give you this. I'm just gonna give you the scientific background of the actual Northern Lights. But what happens is the sun, the sun is continuous. The sun releases a solar storm basically, or a solar flare, and what happens is it shoots, it releases it, and it takes 6 hours to get past Mercury, 12 hours to get past Venus, and then it comes to Earth. And what happens is when it gets to Earth, it's in the 18th hour, and it basically, the storm slams into the magnetic field. So the Earth is protecting us from, the magnetic field is protecting us from so much. So it slams into the magnetic field, and what happens is when it slams, the magnetic poles, it kind of has a rubber band effect. So what happens is it kind of pushes back, and then it breaks. And when it breaks, the magnetic fields transfer gases, and the gases slam into the atmosphere of the Earth, and it collides into these particles and everything that's in our atmosphere, and then that emits light and color in the northern and southern hemisphere of the Earth. So like that's where I got it from. And when I look at those, when I look at the pictures and the videos of it, I feel like it's telling a story, and like it's telling my story. Like you know, there's some happiness and some sadness in that. That's what I feel like when I look at that. So that's why I named it the Northern Lights. My musical influences. Well, first of all, I definitely have to give credit to God, definitely, because if it wasn't for him, I really would not be here. So like you know, I try to talk to him every day. You know, he pushes me. You know, he just like, yo, you need to get up and work on your craft, because I didn't give you these gifts for you to just sit on your behind. So that's definitely my #1 influence. Another influence is my mom. She played a major role in my musical life as an artist, as a singer. She started training me at the age of 10, because she's a vocalist as well, an amazing vocalist, a musician. She has an ear for music. So she used to train me. The first time she started was when I was in a play in school. In 5th grade, I was the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, which was so crazy because I was like the shortest kid in my class, so nobody expected me to take on that role. But I got it, and she used to she trained me from there on. And like, I just remember when we had our classes, she would always, it was so funny because like I would want her to train me, and then when we start training, I would start laughing and start joking, because it's my mom, so you know, just like it's weird. But like when I would start laughing, she'd be like, all right, so I'm not gonna do this because you're not serious. So I appreciated that, because like she didn't take any mess when it came to music, when it came to anything in period. And so like when I really got serious, that's when she was just like, okay, let's do this. And I love her because she never forced me to sing. She never forced me to do anything I didn't want to do. So I can definitely appreciate that, because art shouldn't be forced. You should want to do it. It should come from within you. So I appreciate that. Another influence musically is my pops, because he was this major hip hop head. I mean, you know, he can't sing, he can't play or anything like that, but he was a major hip hop head, a music head in general. Like I remember he used to cut my hair. When he used to cut my hair in the crib, he would blast like old school, like KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Busta Rhymes, Tribe Called Quest, Mobb Deep, like anybody you could think of that was from the 90s, the 80s. He would blast them, and he used to, while he cut my hair, he used to rap. He used to say all the lines, and I just feel his breath on my neck. And it was so funny because he would try and sing, and it was so funny. It was just because he really couldn't sing, but he really felt it, and I really appreciated him for that, because he would listen to hip hop, and then the next second James Brown is on, or Teddy Pendergrass and Barry White, and so like I was able to experience all different types of music in my crib. Artists that are well known, Fred Hammond and Kim Burrell is like the main, and Brandy are the main people that have really influenced me and inspired me to become better. They're just amazing. Like there's nothing bad you can say about them really, because like they give it all in their craft, and you can tell when you hear it. From Fred Hammond and RFC, when Spirit of David was one of my favorite albums. Then you got Kim Burrell when she came out with Everlasting Life, which is a classic, and it came out in 1998, and it was considered a gospel classic so soon. And Brandy, when that Full Moon, and Human, Human, I remember I was in high school, and that's all I listened to. Another one was Jasmine Sullivan. When I was just like, oh my God, there's so many people that influenced me. Other people on the opposite spectrum of music is Michael McDonald, Phil Collins. Like, they're just geniuses all by themselves, and I'm glad that I was able to experience, like 80s, 70s, and 80s is my favorite era of music. Like I love the 80s music. It's so experimental, and like Prince, musical genius. So you know, those are like the well-known artists, and I got a lot of influence from the church, from my church. I grew up in Christian Culture Center, and like I joined the choir, the youth choir, when I was 12 years old, and I can really just I just want to thank Kelvin King and Jossie, my aunt Jossie, for really like training us, the youth choir, to be better. Like they took their time. I'm talking about rehearsals every week. Going, sometimes there were times when for shows we would go till 12 o'clock, but they would still be there. They trained us in how to lead songs, how to sing background. Like if you can't sing background, then you shouldn't be leading. That was like one of the rules. So like they trained us in how to sing background and lead, and how to conduct rehearsals, not just vocal but band rehearsals. So they really encouraged me and pushed me from such a young age. Another musical influence is my cousin Jacinda, because she really taught me about harmony and how important harmony was. And she would, I remember we were young, we'd be at my grandmother's house, and she would play Brandy, the Full Moon album, from beginning to end, non-stop, and she would harmonize with every single riff and run that Brandy did, and I just thought that was so amazing, because she was so young. We were so young. I was probably like, I don't remember how old I was, but we were really young, and she was just killing it. And like, that's when I just realized, I was just like, yo, she had that. So I definitely got the harmony and all that, and I really appreciate harmony from my cousin. Another one is my brother Nicholas Ryan Gant. That when he came out, I was like 16, and I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand him for my life. But when I actually got to know him, he taught me so much. He's an amazing vocalist. He really pushed me, you know, during the latter years of my teenage, I don't know, hood or whatever like that. But he really pushed me. It was just like, if I was singing off around him, he would look at me and be like, no. He was like, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. So like, I really got to thank him for that.
For you to open the door. The dark is cold and my tears are dry.